Hello everyone, my name is SAILAJA MEENIGALA and today I will be presenting on the topic rising medical supply chain costs in U.S. Healthcare. This presentation is based on an article published by Alexandra Murphy in Becker's Hospital Review on July 30, 2025. Throughout this presentation, I will summarize the article's key findings, I explain how they relate to our textbook concepts and discuss the implications for healthcare systems and supplies across the United States. Article overview. To begin, let's look at what the Vizient report actually found. Vizient, the nation's largest healthcare performance improvement company, predicts that medical supply chain costs will rise by 2.41% in 2026. This increase is primarily driven by higher expenses in the IT services, capital equipment, and surgical supplies, which are essential components of healthcare operations. In addition, pharmaceutical, which are essential components of healthcare operations, in addition, pharmaceutical prices are expected to grow by 3.35%, largely due to the rising use of expensive therapies such as the GLP-1 medications and CAR T cell treatments. The report also notes that terrifies labor shortages and increased manufacturing costs are adding pressure to already tight healthcare budgets. In key drivers of supply chain inflation, several forces are driving these cost increases. First, IT services, which includes data security analytics and electronic health record management, are projected to rise by 5.5% as hospitals digitalize more processes. Maintaining these systems becomes increasingly expensive, and hospitals are investing heavily in advanced diagnostic technologies like molecular imaging and precision medicine, which come with a high upfront costs. The only surgical supplies, including instruments, searches, and disposable materials, are expected to rise by 3.28%, mainly due to increased manufacturing and freight costs. Finally, the report notes that food and non-clinical goods are also rising in price because of droughts, reduced cattle heads, and other weather-related disruptions. In slide 4, impact on healthcare organizations. The rise costs have several implications for healthcare providers. First, hospitals will face higher operational budgets and tighter profit margins, make it more difficult to sustain quality care while keeping costs low. And these are supply and pharmaceutical prices increase. Patients may see higher treatment costs or insurance premiums, potentially affecting access to care. Finally, this trend highlights how interconnected the US healthcare system is. When supplies and manufacturers experience a cost increase, the effects ripple throughout the system, from administrations to clinicians to patient. And slide 5, connection to textbook concepts. This development connection directly to concepts discussed in our textbook by Ishii and Singh, particularly within the systems framework and the resources component of healthcare delivery. The textbook emphasizes that the healthcare system relies on three core resources: human, financial, and material. And the Vision report illustrate how material resources such as medical supplies, technology, and equipment play a critical role in determining both the quality and cost of care. It also ties into the financing aspect of the system as described in that chapter 6, showing how inflation and reimbursements are challenges directly after resource allocation. In essence, when supplies raise their prices, hospitals must adjust their financial strategies, which in turn impacts the insurance reimbursements and ultimately patient affordability. Next, strengths and weaknesses and moral hazards. Like any system, these are there are both the strengths and weaknesses. Weakness in the how the use manage its healthcare supply chain. A major strength as is use of data analytics and forecasting, which allows hospitals to anticipate market changes and plan spending more effectively. However, a key weakness is the system's heavy reliance on global manufacturing chains, which exposes hospitals to fluctuations in tariffs and transportation costs and geopolitical instability. Therefore, achieving balance between innovation and efficiency requires a better supply and governance, accountability, and transparent pricing negotiations. Next, slide 7, managing supply and demand. To manage these changes, Vision recommends several strategies. First, healthcare systems should adopt strategic sourcing and supply diversification to avoid dependence on a limited number of vendors. Second, hospitals can use global budgets, predictive analytics, and procurement software to forecast demand and manage costs in real time. And these last digital pronouncement of systems improve and supply chain visibility and reduce waste. These strategies demonstrate how data-driven management can stabilize costs and promote long-term sustainability across the healthcare supply chain. Next, slide 8, influence on the Affordable Care Act. The rising focus on supply chain efficiency also reflects a broader policy themes seen in the Affordable Care Act. One of the ACA's key goals key goals was to control healthcare costs while improving quality and access. Objectives that closely align with supplier management practices discussed by Vijayanta. For instance, value-based purchasing programs which reward providers for quality rather than quantity and depend heavily on efficient supply relationships and cost-effective resource utilization. Additionally, the ACA encouraged the adoption of health information technology, which mirror Vizient's emphasis on IT services as a major area of spending and innovation. In both cases, the emphasis is on achieving financial sustainability and while maintaining equitable access and high quality care of all patients. Next slide 9. Recent development since 2008. Since 2008, the healthcare supply chain has evolved significantly. Digital transformation, automation, and AI-driven analytics have revolutionized how hospital manage postman logistics and inventory. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed critical vulnerabilities such as the overdependence on foreign supplies, which led to renewed interest in domestic and manufacturing and supply resilience. And these one economic inflation, labor shortages, and rapid technological advancements continue to shape how health systems manage supply and demand. These trends highlight that the U.S. healthcare system must constantly adapt to balance efficiency, innovation, and quality. And in slide 10, uh, to summarize, To summarize, the Vision 2025 Outlook Services as a wake-up call for healthcare leaders as supply chain costs rise, hospitals must find new ways to control spending without the compromising care quality. This situation reinforces what we have learned in class that use the healthcare system is deeply interconnected. Financial, technological, and human resources all depend on each other. By improving suppliers relationships and embracing technology and maintenance transparency, healthcare organizations can better manage future challenges and sustain value based care. Thank you for your attention.